The promenade at Morecambe echoes to the heyday of the British seaside, where people went to escape the worries of the everyday, where entertainers would sing of bringing fun and bringing sunshine. How many people can forget those everyday worries now? Over 2 weeks we spent time with families who live here, like those all over the country, struggling and juggling in a new economic climate.
It's not okay, you know, things are not okay.
Why is it so hard? It shouldn't have to be this hard.
It's horrific. It's affecting everybody.
Not knowing when it's going to stop, it's hard.
What is the cost of living crisis for families just trying to stay afloat? It is down past the now demolished theme park in Morecambe's West End. The challenges are the most acute.
Front house.
The West End is home to Jasmine and her daughters. Like millions of people, their morning routine is now full of anxiety.
Well, obviously the fridge freezer's got to be on constantly. The washing machine I'm having to turn off now when I'm not using it. The cooker's now turned off at the wall when I'm not using it. The same with the microwave and the air fryer. When I first moved here, I had everything planned out, like how much each bill was going to cost and everything else. And now that electric's going up, it's kind of a pain, because then I'm having to take that money out of something else, and obviously it's not going to come from food, even though that's going up. So be it, that my kids come first at the end of the day.
Even for an 8-year-old like Maisie, Jasmine says the effects of the cost of living crisis are being felt.
There you go. I think she's starting to realise the whole stress of everything as well, with me having to not fill the car up and having to walk her to school and stuff like that, which, as you hear that she keeps going, can I get the bus, and can we get on the bus? And I was like, no, you've got legs, use them. you can walk to school, it's fine.
It means a conversation millions of parents are having with their children.
See you later. I think she's starting to notice now that things are starting to go up and that we're not doing as much as we used to. She's also thinking, well, why can some people do this but then some people can't do this? Especially when it gets to like certain points in the month where payday's coming up, and it sounds really bad, but we're having to use like mix and match of stuff that's in the freezer just so I can empty it and then fill it up again for the next payday. It's so stressful, and it starts playing on your head, and then you can't sleep, and then it affects your mental health as well, which is just, it's horrible.
In another Morecambe home, there are also mouths to feed. Louise and Clive live with their adult son, plus pets.
Things that weren't luxuries have now started to become luxuries. Like I said, sometimes we'll have breakfast late and then we'll have his evening meal, so we'll miss out having lunch, which is not very diabetic friendly. You have to weigh up the odds. Diets are not, even medical diets, as in because you're diabetic, are not poverty friendly. We will eat the cheap white bread because it's the cheapest, even though it's not the best for our body. It's what we can afford.
Didn't realise I had autism until...
Where possible, we try and do one pot cookery. Obviously, some there are things we need to use the oven for, but if we're going to use the oven, we try and do as many things at the same time.
The family rely on a benefit system not keeping up with inflation.
It should go up. It should go up. It's not in line with the economy of today, is all I can say, you know. And I'm not the only one feeling the pinch. I think everybody, working families, feel the pinch, as well as people on the benefits system. I feel like I'm a stain on society for having to live on benefits. People think you're just a comfortable handout, you know, and while, don't get me wrong, I know the government have a lot of hard decisions to make. I don't doubt that for a minute. But I feel like people look at you as if to say, well, if we didn't have to pay for your benefits, then the economy would be in a better position. But they don't understand how poverty and living below the poverty line affects people's general health. We feel like we're Oliver Twist kind of scenario, you know, begging bowl.
Chris Martin spends his days literally putting roofs over the heads of families.
Once you pass that to Joe, will you start from the other side checking for nails, mate?
His own hopes of getting his foot on the property ladder, though, have been ripped from under him by the chaos in the mortgage market.
Found a nice 3-bed terrace in Morecambe, perfect for where I was looking for, right smack bang in the middle where all my family are. Put the offer in, been accepted. It was all going through quite smoothly, and then they've sort of retracted. The original offer was APR rate of, I think it was about 6.5%, and obviously the mortgage repayments were around £650 a month. The second offer they come back at me with was 8.6% and mortgage repayments of £780 a month, maybe even closer to the £800 mark, I think. But it's not fair, really, I don't think. But like I say, it's out of my control. Just plainly put, it was quite heartbreaking. Like I say, I've been saving up for a mortgage for the best part of 5-6 years, maybe more. You don't have to do as much walking on the roof then.
For Jasmine, as for so many people, this crisis has changed how she lives her life.
We try and go around to friends' houses in the mornings just to obviously not be on our own as well, but to try and save electric, so we're not having to use any of it, so it's not so bad, but it's still extortionate. A lot of my friends try not to talk about it because as much as they are strong-willed, they try not to let it show that they're struggling. It's got to the point where you're sort of doing what you need to do to feed the kids and whatever else. My friends are having to borrow more from their friends and family than what they've ever had to, which is the same case with me as well.
For Louise, getting out of the house is essential, even if it is no escape from the financial stresses.
Yeah, I will drive around and look at other garages, look at Sainsbury's, look at Morrison's, look at Asda, and whoever's got the cheapest price for the day is where I will go to get some petrol. And then I will phone round family and friends and let them know what price it is where I've been, just in case they're needing any petrol, so that they can take advantage of the lower price from that area.
In the heart of Morecambe's West End, the Stanley Centre has become a lifeline, both physically and emotionally.
Things to do, people to look after.
The numbers at the weekly meditation sessions have grown.
We'll circle back now to the 3 points we started with. You take away people's dignity and you take away people's security, in the sense of, you know, being able to pay for bills, being able to heat the houses. You take away their the most important thing they have, which is their peace of mind. It includes all of us, because a lot of professionals are now, are really struggling under the pressure of what's happening, because we're taking away all of the points of safety from people. You're not going home and just forgetting the world. Actually, your home has become a bit of an enemy, because it's just creating so many problems for you. It's creating bills that you just can't possibly pay. We're offering places of refuge that aren't trying to fix you and aren't trying to say, don't worry, it's okay, because it's not okay. It's not okay, you know, things are not okay. We've been going 10 years and I've never known people this desperate.
In the room next door, it all dominates the brew and chat.
It is affecting everybody.
This year has just been absolutely exceptional. The need is increasing at a far higher rate than I thought possible. I had a 92-year-old man 2 weeks ago who went out into his garden and shouted for help because he got no food. It's not something I want to deal with. It's horrific. It's affecting everybody, and there's a lot of people very, very proud in this area that won't ask for help.
Well done, you got it.
Without that house of his own, for roofer Chris, home life is now with his sister and her family.
There we go. I love him to pieces. I love living with him, but at the same time, she's trying to grow a family, expand, and say I'm trying to do the same. Obviously, the only thing holding us back is the financial situation. And obviously I'm not the only person to be affected by it. Everybody's in a similar sort of situation, but it's getting to the point where nothing's possible. They must know that it's not affordable for people in my position for what they're offering. It's all come crashing down. Yeah, she's got 2 young kids that are only needing more space every day, and sort of I'm feeling like I'm getting in the way now. It's not a nice feeling really, but it's we're all feeling the same. So on the other side, there's a swirling whirly.
All over the country, there are people living life in a way they never expected. If you look, there are those trying to defy the odds. In what was once a church, a father and son betting on a new micro bar.
People always find money to spend on themselves, even during times of hardship. We've just got to remember with our prices to make sure that obviously we hit the right market. We've got a good plan for the next couple of years here, where we want to be, the things that we want to achieve, the numbers that we want to hit, and we will work our socks off to get there. It's the only thing that will make it happen. Luck's not going to make this place work. We've planned it down, to the last tee, to the last screw that's gone in the wall. We're absolutely raring to go. Just hoping it's busy enough.
You're going to sit here? Why are you saying sorry?
And for parents like Jasmine, trying to insulate their children completely is impossible. This is 8-year-old Maisie's view.
Toys have gone up. New shoes have gone up as well. Clothes have gone up as well. Bags have gone up. Like, it's all the payment of everything has just gone high up. If it was like £3, something like £3.50, like a little coat for my sister, and she had £3.50, I'm worried that she can't buy anything else because she has no money.
Do you want me to cut this up for you? Yeah? It takes its toll. So, from a parent's point of view, you sort of have to put this face on. So, like, nothing's phasing you, you're all fine, everything else. And, like, the minute the kids go to bed, you're like, oh, God, that was hard.
Why is it so hard? It shouldn't have to be this hard. My £2 lottery ticket, I'm forever praising the Lord. Not that I'm a believer, but please let me win, please let me win. Just so that I can be comfortable. I don't want to be rich. I want to be comfortable.
And as for that new bar...
Coffee is officially open. Things are going wrong, but things are also going right. We'll smooth them out, we'll get there, we'll be absolutely fine. We just obviously got to keep our heads down and crack on.
It is a plan, a hope for the future. In Morecambe, in towns and cities, communities and families all over the country, hope is all many can do.